To you, Doc, and thank you so much for always making time for us to talk about all these pertinent health issues. I think before we get to the method of prevention and also the importance of testing, let's get to why South Africans are not testing. 4.2 million South Africans who are living with diabetes, but actually 1 out of 2 may not know about this. This is worrisome.
Tumelo, thank you for having me. Indeed, the stats you shared are worrisome, but it's not only a South African problem. The stats are actually quite similar globally, where 1 in 10 adults are living with diabetes. So it is actually quite a common condition. We're looking at over half a billion people that are living with diabetes. But what is concerning, to your earlier point, is 1 in 2 people who live with diabetes don't know. And this is concerning because we know that diabetes is one of the, what I like to call the top 4 killers, which is diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, cancer, and respiratory diseases. Collectively, these 4 account for 60% of the deaths. And the sad thing with diabetes is you can prevent it. So it's quite important that people take it seriously, but actually take measures to know their risk and screen. And it's really as simple as going to your local clinic. It's as simple as going to your GP, going to your pharmacy, and you actually do a quick screening where they will tell you whether you're at high risk of diabetes. And in my world, if you happen to be a Vitality member listening, you actually do get rewarded and incentivized to go screen. So please do screen, because this is a very common and serious condition that could be lethal.
And Doc, I know that it's such a priority, not only for the country, but even for the World Health Organization, because to mark National Diabetes Month, I understand that the theme for this year is education to protect tomorrow. This is more around awareness and education when it comes to diabetes. And you're saying you can get that information at your clinic, not only generally about diabetes, but about your own personal health. How important is awareness and education more than ever at this time?
It is so important, which is why I give credit to you and your show for actually taking the time to raise awareness, right? This completely aligns with the theme, because when you know, especially when you get access to credible information, you're able to take measures to protect yourself. So in addition to your clinics, there's various free resources online that you can read and learn about what it means to protect yourself from diabetes. For example, I think what resonated with me, if you look at what the World Health Organization says, and if you look at what the International Diabetes Federation says, which aligns with the work that we do in Vitality, is there's a few things that you can do that can reduce your risk of diabetes. But also even more powerful, if you have diabetes, if you engage in these behaviors, you will reduce the risk of progression to complications. So what they recommend, and what many studies have shown, Tumela, is if you exercise regularly, right? If you eat healthy, and I think that will ultimately lead to the topic that you wanted to speak about.
Yes.
And if you endeavor to maintain a healthy weight, it's been shown that you can reduce your risk for diabetes, which is why we definitely in Vitality would incentivize people to do that.
Right. And that leads definitely to my next question to you, Doc. And I love this because it talks about the agency that you and I have to take, measures into our own hands and be responsible for our health. So there's a diabetes plate method that we can actually use and make sure we prioritize on our daily diet.
I absolutely love the diabetes plate method. Credit to the American Diabetes Association. Out of all of the guides, I find it is the simplest way to just think about what does it mean if I were to eat healthy. And I actually want to say, Dumela, this is something that anyone actually should apply, not necessarily if you're diabetic, because eating a healthy, balanced diet benefits us all.
Right.
So the rule of thumb is half of your plate should be non-starchy vegetables. And by that, we're referring to things like your cabbage, your broccoli, your carrots, mushrooms. And then a quarter is lean protein, like your skinless chickens, fish, or lentils if you enjoy animal plant-based protein like myself, etc. And then the other quarter is your healthy carbs, right? This is where your fruits come in. This is where your potatoes and pumpkins come in. This is where your whole grain pasta comes in and your brown rice. But if you were to approach it that way, when you look at your plate, it's kind of easy to gauge. Just says half of my plate's non-starchy vegetables and it's a quarter protein or it's a quarter carbohydrates. And there's just something that I read earlier where people are saying, well, we hear that, but what if I want to have like a pizza or something like that? And they actually go to help people bring some of the unhealthy foods into this diabetes plate method, where they said, well, put a slice of pizza and the other half, let it be a salad. Or put a slice or two of pizza, but then the half of it is a salad. So you still take some of the things that you eat regularly, but apply the construct of this diabetes plate method to make sure that you still get sufficient nutrients.
Yeah, it sounds like cheat day with a twist, with a healthy twist, to me, because I know
right?
right? It sounds like, because everybody, when they exercise and eat healthy, they look forward to cheat day. I'm just like, are you working for cheat day, or, you know? So I like this one, Doc, because it sounds like cheat day with a health twist. Unfortunately, that's where I have to leave it. But thank you so much for always coming through for us when it comes to giving us sound health advice. Discovery's Head of Wellness, Dr. Mosima Mabunda, joining us this morning. And there you have it. Exercise the diabetes plate method. More of your healthy vegetables and your greens. Of course, a quarter then of your healthy carbs, and a quarter then of your protein. And you could implement this on your daily diet and make sure that you stay healthy.